So hopefully you join me for my first short video about Yin Yoga, explaining what it is, what the three principles of Yin Yoga are. If you didn't, I'm going to link it up here. And now I want to talk a little bit about who Yin Yoga is good for. Now, my opinion, it's good for everybody. I really truly believe that because of our very young lifestyle, which I talk about in the previous video. It's particularly good for us as we age. As we age, we tend to get very stiff, very immobile. We lose our range of motion. And these are all things that Yin Yoga are going to help over time. When we're young, we're in what's called a very young period of life. And we don't need that flexibility. We have that flexibility. Think about yourself at a younger age. I could do splits. I wasn't a dancer, but I was flexible and I could do splits. I'm not quite that flexible anymore. Um, and so it's great as we age to keep that range of motion, to keep the flexibility, to keep our connective tissue happy. It's also particularly good, in my opinion, for peri and postmenopausal women. Why? Because it's cooling. And a lot of peri and postmenopausal women need that cooling because of hot flashes. Now, I am postmenopausal. Personally, I did not suffer much with hot flashes. I still don't. It's been about 3 years, I guess, really, since I went through menopause. And I went through late in life, as a matter of fact, like my mom did. I got a few hot flashes, but it was never anything big. It didn't really interrupt my sleep, yada yada. But for a lot of women I know, you really struggle with this. And so I really encourage you to give Yin Yoga a try. You may hate it when you first try it. I didn't like it when I first tried it. And I find that very often we have to give things more than one try. So if you are suffering with hot flashes, Yin Yoga may just be a little extra help in your fight against those hot flashes. And I recommend you giving it a try. And it's just good for slowing ourselves down, relaxing. It's good on so many different levels. So thank you for joining me today. We're going to have quite a few more of these talks. I'm going to try and keep each one relatively short and tackle a different facet of Yin Yoga in each one. Thanks for joining. I am back with a quick little addendum to the video I shot yesterday in my fact talking about who Yin Yoga is for. I can't believe that I forgot this yesterday. You'll notice that I've completely changed clothing. There's a reason for that. So as I said yesterday, I truly believe that Yin Yoga is for almost everybody. One segment of the population it's not for is kids. Just think about that. Do kids need more flexibility? I think not. They really don't. But who is Yin Yoga great for? Runners! I can't believe I forgot to tell you that yesterday. Yes, I am a runner. No, I am not fast. No, I have never run a marathon. The longest I've ever run is 18 miles. And I know to some people that won't seem that long, and to other people they'll be like, oh my God, you ran 18 miles. And sometimes I think that too because I only did it once. Anyway, Yin Yoga is really great for runners for a lot of reasons. The main three I'm going to focus on today is one, it may help strengthen your connective tissue. And once again, that's the ligaments, that's the joints, and that's the deep fascia. And those are all the things when they're stiff and tight, they can lead to injury and they can just feel damn uncomfortable. So that's one reason. Number two, uh, there's a number two, I promise you. Okay, because it may increase your range of motion. And while runners don't really need to be flexible, actually being too flexible can be a problem for runners, but we have to have some range of motion. We have to be able to move our arms and our legs in a somewhat normal range of motion. And as we get older, range of motion tends to shrink, often because we're just not active enough, or maybe because we've been too active for a lot of years. So that's number two. And number three is mental. Because as I touched on in yesterday's videos, Yin Yoga, even though it seems really super simple, you get into a pose and you stay there. And the poses, most of the poses, some poses are hard, but for the most part, they're not extremely hard. Although for some people, even the easy poses may be hard, and that's okay. But it's simple. You're not moving a lot. You're staying in one pose. That seems so simple and easy. What's going on? Why is this benefiting me? So that's the third thing. It's going to benefit your mental game. And if you're a runner, you know that running is mostly about your mental game because what we believe, we achieve. And, what we think about persists. So being able to be in your own head, being able to stay with things and when they get uncomfortable, that's something that's familiar to pretty much every runner. I know it's certainly familiar to me. And just being able to go the distance, keep going. Maybe hold a pose for 5 minutes without looking at your watch. That's something I can do some days, and other days I'm like, oh my God, when will this be over? And I'm not even timing it, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to move on. It happens to yoga teachers. Anyway, I just really wanted to get this out to you quickly. If you're a runner, Yin Yoga could have great benefits for you. I know it seems counterintuitive. I know if you're a runner and that's really all you like to do, you're like, I don't want to just sit there. But I'm telling you, give it a chance. Give it more than one chance. And I'm betting that you will begin to see the benefits of it.